Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cincinnati Bengals Week 13 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between different variables and data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Steelers and the Bengals, when you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data, of course, just looks at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course, how the special teams is doing from a macro standpoint, from a statistical standpoint. And when you look at all this information, the vast majority of the data favors the Steelers. So let's get into some reasons why. First off, offensively speaking, the Steelers are pretty much better than the Bengals in every single category. Turnover ratio is pretty much the same between the two, but the Steelers are slightly favored. However, there's a big disparity when it comes to sack allowance between the Steelers and the Bengals on offense. And there's also an even bigger disparity when it comes to offensive score percentage between the Steelers and the Bengals. The Steelers simply have a much better offense in terms of their ability to put points on the board and, of course, their ability to prevent sacks. And not only that, they just have the better defense. They have better defensive offensive score percentage. They have a better ability to create turnovers, better ability to create sacks, and also better ability to create interceptions. So offensively and defensively, the Steelers just have a much larger disparity between between them and the Bengals when it comes to this data. And then when you get to special teams data, this is where the Bengals start to have some victories. The Bengals are better when it comes to punt return yardage. They're better when it comes to kick return yardage. They're also the Steelers are better when it comes to defensive punt return yardage. The Bengals are better when it comes to defensive kick return yardage. Field goal percentage goes to the Steelers. Extra point percentage goes to the Bengals. And punting average goes to the Bengals. In terms of who has the better special teams, as I usually tell you guys, it's the Steelers. Whenever you have the better place kicker, you typically have the better special teams. It's not to say that the Bengals do have some good things. They have some field position kind of advantages when it comes to punting and kick return and punt return yardage. But the ability to put points on the board, the ability to put three points on the board, 6 points on the board, whatever, with your place kicker is invaluable to winning football games. So that's why the Steelers also favored on special teams, is because of their ability to put points on the board with their special teams, which kind of rounds everything out, that the Steelers just have a dominant offense, a dominant defense in terms of many different aspects, and the Bengals just don't have that. And then on top of that, the special teams also favors the Steelers from a point perspective. So again, all the data pretty much favors the Steelers in terms of the macro data. Now when you get to the micro data, again, micro data essentially is looking at things like completion percentage data, run downs, passing downs, etc., in terms of various downs and distances. And when you look at the Bengals offense versus Steelers defense when it comes to completion percentage, the Steelers defense are favored on first and third down. So again, the Steelers should have a big advantage against this Bengals offense in those particular downs and distances. Then, of course, when you look at the Steelers offense versus Bengals defense in terms of completion percentage, the Bengals actually start to look a little good. Bengals have the advantage on first and second down. So I think the Bengals in many ways as a defense have not been able to put everything together, but I'm not quite sure if it's because of the offense that has made them have to play from behind a lot and as a result make a lot of mistakes. But ultimately, this is just one of those kind of things where the Bengals do have a good defense overall. They have some good aspects to it. They just aren't able to prevent points. And this is one of those areas where I think the Bengals might have some success, but may not pay off because of all the issues they have. And then, of course, you get to rushing downs. So this is basically the ability to to create first downs with the run and various downs and distances. And in this particular area between the Bengals offense and the Steelers defense, the Steelers are favored on second and third down. So the Steelers should have some success stopping the run against the Bengals because they've had success on those other downs throughout the year this year. Then, of course, if you get to rushing downs with the Steelers offense and Bengals defense, the Bengals are actually favored on first and third down, with the exception of second down. The majority of the big plays that the Steelers are able to generate come on second down. So, in many ways, the strengths of the Steelers and the weaknesses of the Bengals rush defense are matching up here. So, this could be a sort of thing where even though the Bengals are very good on first down and third down, the Bengals are still not very good in terms of preventing the Steelers from doing what they want to do on second down when it comes to rushing down. So definitely something kind of to keep in mind. Then, of course, you get to passing downs. Bengals passing offense versus Steelers passing defense. In this particular area, the Steelers are favored on first, second, and third down, and significantly favored on second and third down, by the way. So I think the Steelers will have a lot of success, causing issues for the Bengals. Passing offense. Then, of course, you can look at the Steelers passing offense versus Bengals passing defense. Similar theme to where the Bengals have a lot of success against the pass on first and second down. They just give up on third down. For whatever reason, third down seems to be that one down and distance where the Bengals implode on defense. So they're able to play pretty tough, and then they just kind of unravel. And that's kind of why I think the Steelers will have a lot of success, because they'll be able to play that game because of that and kind of stick with it. Then, of course, you look at sack rate between the Bengals offense and the Steelers defense. And, of course, the Steelers have major advantages on first and third down. So definitely some sacks coming in this game. Then, of course, you look at the Steelers offense versus Bengals defense. In this particular area, the Steelers are favored on second and third down. Then you get to interception ratio between the Bengals offense and the Steelers defense, where the Steelers are favored on first and third down. So definitely those are two downs and distances where I think the Steelers might have some success, as always. And then finally, you look at the Steelers offense versus Bengals defense, where most of the issues, if you will, for the Steelers come on second and third down. And most of the good things for the Bengals defense in terms of creating interceptions come on those downs as well. So this could be a game where I think the Bengals could get a pick. It's very possible that they could take advantage of this sort of issue that the Steelers have had in terms of their offense. But overall, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I just think that this is just one of those downs, like third down situations, just one area where I think the Steelers should consider improving, because that's a major down and distance, and you don't want to leave that down with a pick. That's just not what you want to see. So overall, general thoughts and feelings about this game. I think it's a Steelers victory. I just think when you look at the offense, which is overwhelmingly in favor of the Steelers, and you look at the defense, which also is overwhelmingly in favor of the Steelers in terms of just everything, sacks, turnovers, all those areas are kind of, taken into account when it comes to the Steelers. So I just have a feeling that this is just going to be that type of game. I think the Steelers are going to come in and they're going to play really well. This, of course, is a rivalry, so whenever it's a rivalry game, there's always going to be some extra oomph to it, which could help the Bengals to make this game close. But I just think overall, again, when you take a step back and you look at all the data and you look at all the downs and distances, I think that this is going to be a hard-fought game. But I think ultimately the Steelers will end up with the W because of how well they've been playing this year in terms of most of the facets of the game, especially when it comes to their defense. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Jimmetrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.